Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Mental Health and Wellbeing Global Summit. My name is Dr. Shamini Jan, and I am so excited to be here with none other than Lynn Brick herself. If you're new to Lynn, let me tell you a little bit about her. Lynn Brick, BSN, MA, is an internationally acclaimed fitness expert and considered one of the leading group exercise instructors in the world, earning the 1990 IDEA International Instructor of the Year and 1994 Body Life International Presenter of the Year. In 2004, Lynn was recognized as the Ernst & Young Maryland Entrepreneur of the Year, and in 2008, she was the first woman to be inducted into the Baltimore County Chamber of Commerce Business Hall of Fame. She's also a member of the Board of Advisors for the Johns Hopkins Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Science. In 2015, Lynn and Victor founded the John W. Brick Mental Health Foundation, who, of course, are helping sponsor this beautiful summit. The mission of the JWB Foundation is to change the way the world treats mental health. They do this by funding and promoting evidence-based research and programs that promote healthy lifestyle choices as part of the mental health care delivery system, and we are so grateful for your work. It's so needed. Lynn completed her master's degree in health and wellness coaching with nutrition from the Maryland University of Integrative Health in 2016. And today she is going to be talking to us about laughter yoga. Lynn, thank you so much for the time with you today. It's absolutely wonderful to have you with us in this capacity to share your wisdom in many facets, but laughter yoga in particular.
Well, thank you, Shamini. I'm honored to be here, and I'm excited because I have gone through a laughter yoga leader certification program with the founder himself. So I'm excited to share this with everyone.
Well, that's great because, sometimes we don't quite put those things together. I mean, some people do think that yoga is enjoyable. It's not necessarily just twisting yourself up into pretzel knots, but laughter yoga is still kind of a new thing for people. So I'm wondering if you can share with us a little bit about what it is. How did it come to be? Even this term laughter yoga.
Yeah. Well, what is laughter yoga? It's a unique concept that's not based on jokes or comedy or anything, any kind of humor. It's just a natural way for you to intentionally laugh. And there's all kinds of evidence that proves that this is not only good for your body, but also for your mental well-being as well. It's not just about laughing by yourself. It's kind of like when you see someone yawn, there's this innate nature for you to almost mimic that yawn. And that's what laughter yoga does when you're with another person or with a group. Through eye contact and childlike play activities and pantomime, you are able to laugh. And but before you know it, it becomes a contagious event. And people just start laughing. And especially if the leader is very genuine in their approach. I just have no problem laughing out loud anyway. So I laugh at the silliest things. And I'm not sure why, but that's how my genetic makeup. But more importantly, sometimes people feel a little uncomfortable laughing out loud, but you have permission to laugh with a giggle, laugh out loud, make your laugh just a little chuckle. It doesn't matter which way you laugh, as long as you're doing some kind of laughing activity, you create a hormonal response. And why is it called laughter yoga? Well, because when you're laughing, guess what you're also doing? You're breathing deeply and deeply through your diaphragm. And as we all know, yogic breathing and breath work and also fun activities are all about yoga as well. So, sometimes some people are a little hesitant to call it yoga, but it does, because when you breathe deeply, you bring in more oxygen to your brain and to your body, and that helps every physiological metabolic activity that happens in your body. It's really a beautiful, healthy way to improve your health and well-being. So that's part of the reason why, but the main reason why evidence-based research has proven that doesn't matter whether it's a fake laugh or a real laugh, your body secretes an amazing hormonal response. And I call this a dose of happiness. DOSE. And D stands for dopamine, which is, of course, your reward chemical. And it's what is secreted when with addiction. It's also secreted with laughing. O stands for oxytocin. Oxytocin is your love hormone or your connection hormone. It's secreted when a mother nurses her babe. S is for serotonin, and that is your mood stabilizer hormone. It's also secreted whenever you're out in nature, getting sunshine, or just meditating. And of course, E is your endorphin hormone, and that's considered a painkiller. You've heard of the runner's high? That's because endorphins kick in whenever you exercise, whenever you laugh, of course, whenever you listen to music or watch a movie. So I call this a dose of happiness, and is especially secreted whenever you are laughing.
It's so amazing, and it takes me back as my field of study, Lynn, is an area that is very hard to pronounce. Sometimes they say if you say it 7 times, you get your degree. Psychoneuroimmunology. So that's what I did my PhD work in. As you probably know, Norman Cousins was a big proponent of laughter, and it really actually set a beautiful tone for psychoneuroimmunology because we started realizing why as all the things that you mentioned, right? This deep breathing, the relaxation, the stimulation of the vagus nerve have these profound effects on our immune health, our neurotransmitters. So it's very physiological. And I just wanted to reflect that I think it's wonderful actually that it is called laughter yoga because as you shared, yoga is of course, a beautiful practice that takes us back to our breath, relaxes the body, mind, and the meaning of yoga, again, union, right? Union of
Exactly.
mind, body, spirit. And so by actually coming into our laughter, reuniting with actually even a deeper part of ourself that is incredibly healing. It's beautiful. And so clearly you said, your proclivity is just to laugh anyway. And so you found yourself kind of discovering laughter yoga. So tell us a little bit about what you learned. How did you come to it, first of all? And who founded this? And, how did it begin as like a discipline, something that's taught and even with a certification?
Well, interestingly enough, I've been doing a lot of research on it because I was so curious about how it can help people, especially with their mental health and well-being. So Dr. Madan Kataria, who, along with his wife, were walking in a park in Mumbai, India, and just started laughing. And then before you know it, other people started laughing, and he noticed, and he's a medical doctor, by the way, he noticed other people were like laughing out of a contagious effect, right? So within weeks, hundreds of people started laughing along with Dr. Kataria, and it just became contagious. And now there are laughter clubs, thousands of laughter clubs for free all over the world and in over 120 countries. It's amazing. It's really a global effort here to help improve people's mental health and well-being through laughter yoga. It's amazing. And so it just started very small with Dr. Madan Kataria, and now he's developed, created these laughter clubs. As a matter of fact, if people want to join his particular laughter club, it happens every single day, 10 p.m. East Coast time. And if you go to laughteryoga.org, you will learn more about how to join that free Zoom meeting and just laugh with people from all over the world. It's an amazing phenomenon. So I was curious to learn more about how it got started. I wanted to learn from the founder himself, Dr. Madan Kataria, a medical doctor. That was so fascinating to me. And then through a consistent program, I became a certified leader, and I'm excited to share all this with everyone today.
Oh, it's just fantastic. It's fantastic. And so we talked about some of the physiology, but Lynn, how do we know this really? Like, is there actually published research? Is there research on laughter yoga? And You talked a bit about the dopamine, the serotonin, the dose response. Do we actually see these effects in studies for mental health and even physical health?
Yes, Dr. Kataria actually shared with all of us that there have been numerous studies based out of New Zealand to validate the hormonal response and also validate how it helps to benefit mental health and well-being, but also physical health and well-being too. So there is documented research which he shared with all of us.
I think it's amazing. As I was sharing with you, I'm aware of a few medical doctors also who've really taken to laughter yoga and used it with their patients. One doctor at the University of Arizona, Dr. Gulshan Sethi, is a cardiologist, and he has really been using laughter yoga with his patients for healthy hearts. Even, of course, doing the things that sometimes doctors do, coming out in clown suits, especially with, the pediatric cardiology patients, but also the adult ones. And he's a big proponent of it. It's so wonderful to see the medical community as well embracing this practice.
I love that. And Dr. Patch Adams was famous for putting on the clown nose and clown face whenever he
Yeah.
was working with his clients or patients as well. I love that there is an interest in the medical community. As a former shock trauma nurse, where uh, every day it was a matter of life or death, it was great, and that's one of the great benefits of incorporating laughter yoga. Is like, sure, there are challenges that we all face in our life, but when you can pause and just just find pure joy in your heart, it is very healing.
Yeah, what strikes me too is this community emotional contagion aspect that you've kind of alluded to a few times, right? That there is something, and we've all experienced that. I don't know, Lynn, for me, it's like when I hear my mom really laugh, or my father, and it's just that it's almost feels like it's uncontrollable, right? It's just this sense of like it's a wave that you're catching that's really moving. In our nonprofit, we study the biofield, fields of energy and information that guide our health. So there is almost this sense of a field effect that seems to happen with laughter, even when we weren't laughing before. Like maybe we weren't even in a state where we felt like anything was humorous, but somebody starts laughing and it just sort of catches on. In your experience as a facilitator, like how do you think that works? What is happening? Like why is that group effect? It seems like it's a really important part of the process. So any thoughts on that?
Well, yes, the group effect is a very important part of the process, especially if you feel a little uncomfortable laughing out loud, especially in a group. And that's okay. It's okay to have those feelings. What usually ends up happening, in my observation, is that people that feel a little bit more reserved just start laughing at me as a leader because I do silly things or the way I'm laughing, or it just becomes, and they start thinking about how they're laughing, and they start laughing at me, and then before you know it, they're laughing with me. So
Mm.
it just is a natural phenomenon that happens, especially in a group. But there, in all different kinds of groups, there are people that feel very comfortable and people that don't feel as comfortable, which it's okay. But you mentioned a very important word if you're interested in understanding more about laughter yoga, and that word is practice.
Mm.
Traditional yoga, we call it a practice for a reason because it does take repetition over and over again, a little bit every day, which can help you. And like, for example, you can look at yourself in the mirror in the morning before you brush your teeth and just give yourself a laugh. And it doesn't even have to be that big. It could be a gradual gradient type of laugh. That type of laugh. So it just takes some practice and people will feel more comfortable. But it is definitely a group phenomenon that happens. Again, many people feel comfortable, many people don't feel comfortable. But the people that don't feel comfortable, they start laughing at me. And then before you know it, they're laughing with me. So
Oh, wow. Okay, so let me break this down. So the group is important, but we can also, especially as we practice, and it's almost like a muscle, right? That we just kind of get used to the idea that like we can just laugh for no reason. For no reason, right? We're just laughing. So there doesn't have to be a focal point or a joke or anything like that. We just
Correct.
begin laughing and being just like meditation. When you're in a sangha or a collective practice setting, it's helpful to build the field, right? And build our practice. But you invited us too to in the morning, brushing your teeth, just start laughing, just explore it and then see how you feel later, right? And it's just continued practice like anything.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Just like anything, the consistency is very, very helpful. Um, and whenever we have a family gathering or in our home in Miami, we have a group of us that get together for brunch every Sunday, and they're begging me to help lead them in laughter, even if it's just for 1 minute,
Mhm.
because everyone says afterwards they just feel like their whole body is tingling from head to toe, and they feel so good. They feel it in their belly, in their core, and it just helps them to feel good. It energizes you because of that oxygen delivery system to your brain and the rest of it, all the cells in your body.
That's amazing. So that like all this interpersonal stuff that happens with the group, and then do you think with your experience kind of teaching this in groups or sharing in a group, right, getting everyone to laugh in a group, do you feel like it also mentioned family? Sometimes we get together, family gatherings, family is everything, and family can be difficult too sometimes. We all know those Thanksgiving holidays and things like that where we've got distant cousins we haven't seen in a while or whatever. Do you feel like
Exactly.
when we get together to laugh, it actually helps promote cohesion among the group members too? Like, have you noticed that that happens?
Yeah, I do. I do. There's a definite connection
Mm.
because of this whole oxytocin release too. There's a natural connector, and as Dr. Kataria says, that laughter yoga is the shortest distance between two people. I love
I
that.
love
It's
that.
the shortest distance between two people because it definitely connects people to people.
It seems like it. I mean, what I keep feeling as I'm feeling into this practice and even just giggling a little bit is like the opening of the heart. So it really helps us to connect heart to heart, not just head to head.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about sharing and caring, and when you can laugh together, even in challenging times, it just helps to release that negative stuff out of your body. And as a matter of fact, one of the pantomimes that I'm not going to do today, but it's basically putting all your troubles into a cup and pouring it into your ear, and then putting the cup underneath your mouth and getting rid of all your troubles and throwing them out of of your shoulder.
Oh, I
So
love that. Oh, that's beautiful.
that's
Wow.
just one little bit. I mean, of course, there's a whole series of things you do with it, but it's just one little way to throw your troubles away and
Mm.
laugh it off. It doesn't mean that serious challenges are not challenging or you're taking light of the situation. It's just a coping mechanism. It's a way to help your family to cope in times of troubles and tribulations.
Can we talk about that a little bit? Because, we were talking about this earlier, right? There are things that happen in life to all of us. Life is joy and suffering. We know that. It's part of being human. Mental health is about embracing all of it, right? And not necessarily being bowled over by the suffering to the point where we can't experience joy because we want to experience all of it. But when we're really struggling, as you know, with depression, with grief, with stress and overwhelm, laughter may feel like the furthest thing from our mind. And you mentioned the research, you've helped us understand how it works in the physiology. But I'm wondering if you, from your experience, either with yourself or with folks that you've worked with, if you can help us really grok this idea that even when I'm feeling really down and things are really bad, laughter and this practice could actually really help transform things for me so that I can cope better with whatever is happening around me.
Hmm. And that's one of the practices. That's the reason why I practice it every single day. Our
Mm.
daughter is undergoing treatment for ovarian cancer, and a couple years ago, just 2 years ago, the cancer was microscopic, but now the tumors are palpable. And this is something that's out of our control. We have no control over what happens with my daughter, and we're here in Portland, Oregon, to help her cope and help her adapt and help her with her 4-year-old daughter. and help her husband, just to be together and just help them in any way we can. And so I will help her to laugh a little bit, just, but I really do it for myself. It's my coping mechanism that I lean into when I'm feeling overwhelmed. And sometimes I'll ask my daughter, "Well, you ready for some laughter yoga?"
Mhm.
She'll say, "Oh, no, I just don't feel like it right now." But that's okay. I'll just start laughing myself, and then before you know it, she's like, "What? What are you laughing at?" and then and then she'll start laughing too. But it helps to release that tension, that stress, that anxiety, and the fear of the unknown, which fills that gap between the known and the unknown. Is that fear, if we
Yeah.
let it. And one of the ways that it helps to all of us to overcome that fear is to help release the troubles and through laughter. And this is through laughter, and that's one of my personal coping mechanisms. So I love to share that with her. Like, for example, during her treatment tomorrow, of course, everyone's very quiet in the treatment center. But on the way home, and at home, prior to going to the treatment center and then after the treatment, we'll focus on. That's my intention, to focus on helping her to
Mhm.
realize it's okay. it this is your challenge. This is okay. We're going to get through this together, and we're
Mm.
going to laugh together. We're going to be together and find joy in this potentially very sad moment. um, Everyone has life challenges, everyone, and especially post pandemic. And we're all in this mental health renaissance. Why don't we all put on our laughter
Mhm.
smiles and laughter heart, so that we can enjoy
Mm.
life at its fullest? Because we just never know. Life is very short. We never know, and precious. We never know when we can become disabled
Yeah.
or in a fatal accident. We just never know how life is going, the curves and the bends are going to happen in our lives. So I I share this because um, it is one of the ways that I've personally been able to help to cope and be supportive for her.
Yes, this is so important for caregiving. I'm hearing that, loud and clear. And I think all of us who have been in a caregiving situation understand that we're holding our emotions, we're holding the space for others, our loved ones, to process what they're going through and supporting them, often very strenuously, physically too, right? Caregiving is a beautiful thing, and it takes a lot of energy.
It does.
So what you're saying is, when we're holding that much, literally sometimes our bodies are holding and there's tension. We may not even be aware of it. And laughter is just such a beautiful way to physically release and also remind ourselves that, yes, we're going through this, but we're going through it together. And we can open to that joy of being and really meet the moment with our loved ones, so that we're not so bogged down by worry and the unknown and the fear. And that's natural, right? Part of the human experience, but it's not all of who we are. I feel like, Lynn, this is so important because sometimes, as you know, when we're really down, it almost feels like things like laughter or even meditation or whatever, to some people can feel like a bypass. Oh, you're just bypassing. Like, you're not meeting the moment, right? It's like, it really sucks. Things are really
Mhm.
bad. But what I hear you saying is, it's like an invitation for the full experience. It's not just the negative aspects, which they're real, expenditures for caregiving. There is real sadness, when we're going through a major health crisis. There's fear. We're not saying that that doesn't exist, but we're saying you don't have to live there, right? That's what I hear you saying. You don't have to live there all.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. It is a choice, and happiness is a choice. So, yeah, as I mentioned, we don't always have control over stressors that happen in our lives, but we do have control over our actions and our choices. And that is, I think, the greatest gift we can share with our audience, is that there are choices that we can make to make a difference. And it's little choices, little things like Kaizen, little baby steps that can make a big difference in our lives and help us, and not only help ourselves, but also to put that oxygen mask on first, but also help our loved ones and help our circle of influence.
Yes, for good caregiving, we also have to fill our well. Well, I got to say, especially when you're talking about the pantomiming and your own laughter, like, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm itching to explore this, and I'm wondering if you would be so kind as to kind of like show us what this is like, especially for those of us who've never done it before.
Okay, yeah. And before I do, I would love to share a couple more benefits that happen with laughter yoga. This is not something that you take lightly, right? So I wanted to share with the audience that it really elevates your mood spontaneously. And for those of you, if you read a joke or watch a funny movie, that laughter will only last maybe 2 to 3 seconds. But when it's sustained over a 10 to 15 minute period of time, that's when you really dive into the health benefits of elevating your mood and also releasing all those incredible dose chemicals, neurochemicals that happen, the dopamine, the oxytocin, the serotonin, and the endorphins. It helps to also decrease stress. So, as we were talking about coping mechanisms before, it's one of the main benefits, and that's the reason why I lean into laughing. As I've also mentioned, it also increases oxygen to your brain and helps to, for those of you at work, increase your focus, increase your efficiency, increase your productivity, and your energy at work. So why not create laughter opportunities at work? And maybe some of your coworkers might even join you too. That would be fun.
I think they
I,
probably love that. I think all coworkers should laugh together.
I agree 100%. And as I mentioned before, it's a connection piece. The shortest distance, laughter yoga helps to create that short distance between two people, and that's beautiful. Um, and here's the main thing too: laughter yoga, the practice of laughter yoga, helps people to laugh unconditionally. You don't need to have a joke, a funny movie, or a funny comic. It's just helps you to laugh especially when times are challenging, as we've talked about. And what will happen over time? You'll develop strength. It's like your laughter muscle will get stronger, and it help you to overcome adversity and other improve your mental attitude, and so it's more positive. And it might even shift your outlook in life too. So here are 3 things to keep in mind, and which we're going to practice in just a few moments. It should be sustained over 10 to 15 minute period of time. Ideally, now, you don't have to start there. Just start at 10 seconds or maybe 30 seconds and then a minute. I did a practiced 1 minute, 40-day challenge. Some people are on this global website through through WhatsApp. Some people have practiced 1 minute of laughter yoga for world peace for over 1,500 consecutive days. It's
Wow.
incredible. Yeah,
Wow.
it's incredible. In addition, in order to really gain health benefits, it should be deep. In other words, really activating your core and your diaphragm. So when you laugh, you should feel your breathing deeply, and you should feel your muscles getting activated in your belly. Okay. And we're judgment free. There's no judgment. So you can just laugh out loud. If your audience doesn't feel like doing that today, that's fine. You can just, through practice, you can build up to the point where you feel, maybe perhaps feel more comfortable, but it's your choice. Whatever floats your boat, right? And
Mm.
uh, natural laughter is often left to choice. As I mentioned, laughter yoga is intentional. So it's an unconditional choice and a commitment to practice every day. And that's what I wanted to share with everyone. It's awesome. So are
Mm.
you ready?
Oh my gosh, I'm so ready. I'm so excited.
So remember, you want to breathe deeply and feel it in your belly. And we're just going to start with a warm up first so that everyone can feel comfortable. Okay. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, arms up. Do this with me. Yeah, there you go, Shimini. And exhale. And just let your body dangle, 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 loose like a rag doll. All right. Go ahead and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale up and exhale. Dangle like a rag doll. One more time. Inhale up, roll all the way up. Inhale up and exhale. Just dangle like a rag doll and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Reset your great posture, your shoulders back and down. All right. Now we're going to dive into some exercises specifically, but we're going to start our engine, and it's cold outside. When we have, we're going to sit in our car, hold onto the steering wheel, and we have an old-fashioned car key. Okay, so it's not a push button thing. You got to stick the car key in the ignition, and then just turn it and laugh a little, and then laugh a little more, and and start it again. It hasn't kicked over yet. And oh, it still hasn't kicked over. One more time. Okay, drive your car. You're driving down the street. And turn to the right. And turn to the left. You keep driving. Oh, here's a hill. And down the hill. And come back up. Oh, a little baby hill. And baby, you can drive my car, yes. Oh, we're heading back
Man, I can
now.
feel this in my lungs and my belly. Oh.
Okay. Woo. All right, simmer down. That was awesome. You did such a great job.
Oh my gosh,
And
that was like a
we're
workout. That was like a workout. Seriously, I can feel that.
It is. It's the equivalent of doing multiple jumping jacks. Okay. All right. So we're home now, and it's time not for dental floss, but for mental floss. All right. So you have a big, huge container of mental floss here, and pull out a big strip of it, cut it. And now you're going to shove one end into one ear. Oh, it's coming out the other ear. All right. Oh. Flossing your brain. Mental floss. Oh, we're going to pull it out. It got stuck on something. Oh, okay. Whoa, make sure you get the front and the back. Oh, wait. I get stuck. It's so crazy. Very excited. I think your mental floss is like work now. So go ahead and pull it out.
Oh, I got a lot of gunk out of that.
Get rid of that stuff. All those bad thoughts. You've just cleansed your entire brain. That's amazing.
Oh my God.
And we've got one more to do.
That was wild.
One more to do. Okay, you ready? I'm feeling good. How are you feeling right now?
Oh my gosh, I'm feeling great. Like you said, like a completely shift in my energy. It's amazing.
I'm tingling from head to toe. All right. So you have a big, I'm going to use this hand. You have a big tube of laughter cream. Put your palm out like this. Turn that tube upside down and give it a big squeeze. All right. Big squeeze. Throw the tube away. And this is laughter cream that you have in the palm of your hand now. And it helps you to become more beautiful. So, it helps. Oh, put it on your face. Oh, oh yes, it's so beautiful. And oh yes, get rid of those wrinkles with laughter. And oh yes, okay, yeah, up your arm, and oh, don't forget about. Let's go to the other side. Oh, of course, you have to go to one side. You have to use the other side too. Oh, oh my goodness! How about your belly? Oh, oh yeah, go ahead and rub yourself. It's okay to touch yourself. It's okay. It's okay to touch yourself. Rub your belly.
Rub that Buddha belly.
You have permission to touch yourself. That's right. As I always say, if you can't touch yourself, how can you ever touch others?
Good
Metaphorically,
point.
of course. Metaphorically. All right. Woo! That was awesome. Give yourselves a big, huge round of applause. Yay! As we say, very good, very good. Yay!
Woo!
Very good, very good. Yay!
Yay!
And sometimes if people feel uncomfortable just doing some of the pantomime, just go, ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. One more time. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Awesome. Awesome job. I'm very proud of you, Sean. Very, very good.
Oh my
and I hope
God.
our audience enjoyed that too. So tell me, how do you feel right now? How do you feel?
Oh my
Where
God.
do you feel the movement, or where do you feel affectively and somatically? Where do you feel
Yeah, thank you.
your body?
Somatically, I feel charged, and actually my lower body feels lighter. Like I just feel like I just moved some things around in my body. I feel lighter, but focused at the same time. So I'm not like airy. Things just feel lighter, and I feel clarity, actually. It's really cool.
That
Yeah.
is amazing. Yes, and that's really what it does. Well, you've increased oxygen to your brain, you've increased oxygen to the rest of your body, hence the reason why you have more focus, but you feel lighter at the same time. And this circulation of oxygen to not only your hands, but also to the rest of your whole body, it helps to energize all the cells in your body. And it's just a healthy way to live, to activate your body. And you mentioned something, man, I feel like I'm exercising. Like, yes, it's the equivalent of doing like 25 jumping jacks in a row in terms of.
That was really wild, Lynn. I didn't expect that. And actually, it didn't feel as strenuous as we kept going. But in the beginning, I was like, whoa, I really can feel my core. Like I can feel everything opening up and my muscles are working. And I was like, wow, this is a workout. There's a part of me, I was like, oh, I didn't know I was getting a workout. And as we went on, it became reflexive. It actually didn't feel like effort,
Yeah. Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, total fun. It was fun to do it with you. First of all, you're delightful, and it was just you were really inviting us to like just be silly. I love
Yes.
that.
Yes, that's the whole intention, to be like childlike and discover your inner child, and really bring that to life, because we all have our inner child inside of us. And what a joy it is to rediscover that all over again.
Feed
That's
it,
the main thing.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in inner child work and supporting the inner child, because they fuel our creativity, they fuel our happiness. And this is a way for us to feed that part of ourselves. So beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I love it. And
I love the
I'm glad.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining me for this. And I hope everyone in the audience enjoyed the experience as well.
yeah, very much. Lynn, thank you so much. It's been a joy to be with you and share some sacred space and practice together. And I hope that all of us leave laughing, and with a very, very light heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I just wanted to close with something from the Old Testament, from Proverbs 17, verse 22. A merry heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. A
Mm.
merry heart is good medicine. It really, really is so true. I'm grateful for this time together. And if people want to learn more about laughter yoga, they can go to laughteryoga.org to learn more about health and happiness. There are free laughter yoga clubs all over the world, and as I mentioned, Dr. Kataria offers one for free through his website. It's 10 p.m. Eastern time. And ways that people can use laughter yoga, you use it in their team meetings as icebreakers, and also just remember to learn from your kids and your grandkids, and that can help. I mean, they're just laugh spontaneously, naturally anyway, at the silliest things. And why can't we all enjoy life as a child?
Beautiful. Lynn, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the inspiration.
Thank you.